SpaceX isn't the only one trying to do Megaconstellations. There's also Amazon and O3B and OneWeb, and there's just so many. There's actually, I've lost track. I need to sit down and look at a list of how many different constellations are planned for these various companies. And so the problem is, how do you balance that, right? Like you said, do astronomers have any rights? And legally right now, they do not. So the big question is, do they need to? Should they? Right now, the FCC, at least in the United States, has to approve all of these different satellites based on communications, based on broadband. And there's also the FAA in the United States that regulates launch and landings, but nobody regulates whether or not there should be light disturbances in space, really.
Right.
There's a law against advertising in space in the United States, so you're not allowed to have a big billboard in the sky. So there is a law against that. Should there be regulations here? And then my guess is there will be. I don't know what they're going to look like. I liken it to a couple hundred years ago, maybe when they started having electric lights and they started having people complain about the darkness of the landscape disappearing. You know, for all of human civilization, the land was dark at night except for firelight, right? And so once we got modern civilization created, that brightened the horizon, that also brightened the skies. And so now we have designated dark sky zones and radio quiet zones around observatories on the ground. And maybe that's something to consider there. Maybe we can use some of those lessons learned and apply them to the situation, although I don't know how, so don't ask me. But maybe that's what needs to happen, is there needs to be compromise. Because my guess, and I'm just predicting the future here, but my guess is that this is an inevitability.
More engineers are not going to solve your problem. It's not a technical problem in that sense. It's a process problem. And the time to fix your processes was 20 months ago, and the second best time is today. This is Jason Kanigan, the president of Cold Star Technologies and the host of this podcast, the Cold Star Project, which is all about identifying and solving process problems for space companies, because that's what we do. And you can hear the entirety of this episode by following the link in the comment below.